all these guys are in here making the puzzle. Stanley, the butler, the driver of this taxi. So legends, we finally get to the end of DVD 4 in the Laurel and Hardy box set, and it's a little film from 1933 called Me and My Pal. Now, this film, it did take a little bit to get going. Pretty much this entire DVD, like each DVD in this set is like a different category of films. So this one here was Ollie and Matrimony, so it was all based in and around marriage or relationships, whatever. This one here, it's the day of his wedding. He's getting married to this girl who's the daughter of a rich oil magnate, and you know, he's getting ready for leaving the house and he's waiting for Stanley to get there. Stanley turns up, and as I say, it's a 20-minute short film. It takes probably something close to 7 minutes before it really gets going. But Stanley turns up anyway. He's got this little gift for him under his arm, and Ollie's like, open it up and let me see what it is. And he's brought a jigsaw puzzle for Ollie for something for them to do in the evenings, since Ollie's getting married and he's not going to get out much anymore. So he's like, I've brought you this here little jigsaw puzzle, you and me can do something in the evening. So Ollie's like, right, we need to get ready here to leave, and he gets his butler, like he's kind of high society in this film, and he's like, tells the butler to call a taxi for them. And while this is going on, Stanley gets the puzzle opened, the jigsaw puzzle opened across the table, and Ollie's like, oh, come on, hurry up. He's getting really annoyed, and he's watching Stanley and he's waiting for this taxi to come, and the curiosity gets the better of him, and he pulls up a seat next to him. Then the two of them end up doing this puzzle together. The taxi arrives, and they go out to get in the taxi. The driver has come into the house to get the luggage to take out, so that Ollie and the wife can go on their honeymoon straight after the wedding. So they're in the car waiting, no sign of this driver anywhere. So he sends Stanley in. He says, go and get that driver, see what's keeping him. Stanley disappears out of the car. Ollie sits for a few minutes looking at his watch and whatnot, and then he sees that the meter is still running, and he's like, he goes into the house to get him. And all these guys are in here making the puzzle. Stanley, the butler, the driver of this taxi. Ollie comes in, and next thing, he ends up in the puzzle again. So it keeps going. I guess here, a traffic warden, police officer turns up, and the car is in the way in the street. He goes into the house to get the driver out to move the car, and of course he ends up getting on top of this puzzle as well. It's such a weird concept for the film, and it's all based around this flipping jigsaw puzzle and all these guys just getting obsessed with actually completing this jigsaw puzzle, and Ollie ending up late for his wedding because of this. So there's phone calls coming from the bride's father, like, where the heck are you at, sort of thing, and they hear a knock at the door of the church, or they're supposedly getting married at. There's a knock at the door, and the father's like, yeah, he's here now. So it turns out that a guy from a florist has turned up, and Stanley was left in charge of ordering flowers for the wedding. And this guy came in, and to be honest, as a divorcee myself, and I kind of seen the humour in the fact that Stanley messed up the order and what he should have got for a wedding. He actually ended up getting a wreath instead that says in memory across it. Just, I don't know. If you've ever been married or you're divorced, you'll see the humour in that. But yes, the father of the bride loses the plot completely, ends up going to the house to get Ollie and pull him by the ears to the wedding. He ends up getting in there, starting trouble, and then he ends up helping these people to complete the puzzle, because nobody's going to leave until the puzzle's completed. Such a fantastic film. They get to near the end of the film, the puzzle is almost complete. There's one piece missing in the middle of it, but the father of the bride at this point is like trying to pull the people out of the house, and the police officer, he stops everybody. He's like, you're not going anywhere till this puzzle's completed. and he demands to search them all. So he's like pushing them across the room. Get lined up there, I'm going to search all of you to find this piece of the puzzle. And he pushes the driver of the taxi. He falls over. He gets up and he's like, oh, yeah, you want to start some trouble, do you? And like he throws a punch at him. So it turns on to a full-scale riot in the house with all these guys. And then the police are called and everybody's hauled off to the jail, and the whole house is completely destroyed at this point. And Ollie just seems to have disappeared on the fresh air at this point. Everybody's pulled into the car, off they go, all apart from Stan and Ollie. Back in the house, Stanley digs himself out from below it, a couch. And Ollie ends up, you just see the 2 feet coming down the chimney. So he went and hid in the chimney. It was just so random the way it was done. But as I've said in these videos before, these films, no matter how crazy they are, no matter how weird the concept of the film is, or if you've even figured out where it's going to go at the end, it doesn't change the fact that it's going to be a fantastic film from Laurel and Hardy, because it's the fact that of the way they get you to the end of their films is just beautifully done.